Hello, everybody. I'm Renee Varnador, and this is Soul Portal Journeys, and we're doing a new moon ceremony. So if you want to gather the things that we've got, I'm here with my friend Carrie, and Carrie's in the United States. I'm in Mexico, and my friend Bonnie here's from Canada. So we got North America covered. So, here we go. We're going to be grateful for the whole continent here. So I'm going to share my screen to make sure that everybody knows what. Oh, it would be nice if before I shared my screen that I had it up. What did I do with it? Dude, there it is. Okay, so I had it hiding, but it was there. Okay. It was not on my desktop, but here we go. It is now. So here it is. We've got, this is our handout. This is what we're doing. We're doing the new moon ceremony. And here's what we need for the ceremony. So if you are watching the replay, go ahead and pause it, get an idea of what you need and pause it. Okay, so for the ceremony, we're going to need a journal and a pen. Got my pen, got paper right here. Okay, a candle, and you can go ahead and light your candle now, okay, if you want to. So what we're doing is we're creating sacred space as we talk about the energy of this new moon. So I'm going to go ahead and light my candle. Matches don't work anymore, so I have this big, huge thing. So here I've got my candle lit. I'm like ready to spark. And this is good because this is a Sagittarius new moon, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. So it's always good to have a candle lit during a fire sign ceremony. So this went down. Back to stuff. Oh man. Okay. I don't know why my header went all the way to the bottom, but anyway. Okay. So aura cleansing tool. I like to use this aura spray right here. So I just kind of go like this, and it just like has a sense of clearing out anything that's I'm not going to be using during this ceremony. Sometimes we can use these selenite wands. Selenite wands are really good at clearing. They will even clear your really good quartz crystals that you've got. And you don't want to put them outside in the moon or the sun or the earth or the salt or whatever to cleanse them. That every once in a while they hold, crystals will hold energy if you don't clear them. So sacred water, I like to have chalice wells, sacred water. So I'm making my water sacred before we drink it as part of the ceremony. And I'm going to be, I get dry when I talk a lot, so I'm going to put some in my tea too that I've got here. So anything, now you don't have to have it from the heart chakra of the world like chalice wells. What you can do is you can just take your water, and if you know Reiki, you can put a Reiki symbol on there. If you have symbols that you like to use, you can put them in the water, and you're just kind of letting the symbols come into the water, and then boom, with your intention, you've created sacred water. I have dark chocolate as kind of, it's the new age communion wafer, what can I tell you? And a long scarf, I've got this thing right here. If you have a rattle or a drum, great. If not, we've got music that Gemini Brett and Eric Deutsch created especially for the energies of the Sagittarius new moon. So we got it going on. So now we're going to sing in the archangels. You guys know how to do this. Anybody watching, we are calling in all of these angels that have to do with these different directions. Figure out where east is. East is over here for me. And I'm just going to move around Okay, so here we go. Spirits of the East, and Archangel Raphael, please come. Sound, Spirit, Archangel Michael, please come. Spirit, Spirit, Archangel Gabriel, please come. Spirit, Spirit, Archangel Uriel, please come. Spirit, Charity, Angel Sandalphon, please come. Spirit of the skies to change, Archangel Metatron, please come. Spirit, spirits, Archangel Gabriel, please. Okay, so that I feel them, especially, I don't know, right here. So that's good. I need healing right here. That's great. So notice how you're feeling them today. And we are going to do a quick, I shuffled these cards and I think the one on top's my card. Yeah. Okay, so this is the card and it's a water clearing strength card. And it's like, okay, off there in the distance, I see rain, I see a storm. It's not hitting me yet, and I don't know which direction this storm is coming, and I don't even know if this storm is personal. So all I can do is prepare myself, and the storm might pass me by. So whatever you might be seeing, especially if it's like in the political landscape, prepare, hope for the best, but prepare for, possible things, because we can't just go, oh, everything's wonderful all the time, because then we find out, whoops, and we can't be like worried and living into the future all the time, because, most of the time, the fears of the future never happen. So that's like a total waste. So it's just like prepare and, especially preparing my chakras, basically my chakra system, to continually expand. We're going to talk about some ways that the planets and the are related to our chakras today, related to the archangels today. So that'll be a little interesting. So I'm feeling like I came out of, in Scorpio, I was totally in eclipse season, collective shadow cycle. I was definitely in potentiality, but I feel like the perspective change was, we got, the sun moved into Sagittarius on Tuesday, and already it was just like, oh, we're in fire now. Okay, we can get out of the swamp. Scorpio energy is like a swamp, and you can get stuck in the mud there, but you can also really get into some depths and really be able to bring some shadow to light, and then be able to work with things that used to be unconscious to you. So Scorpio's great. It's just a lot of people don't have very much fun in Scorpio, but then they're like, yeah, we're in Sagittarius, which is pretty fun. It's got 2 galactic centers, which is always fun. And yeah, and I know that I happen to know Carrie's birthday, so I know that you're on at least one of these centers. And that's why you're such an incredible, expanded, bright, energetic person. So woohoo. Yeah. It's happens to be the same when my husband's on, so I know a lot about it. So here we go. And that's the sun in, if your sun is in December 6th, 7th, or 8th, you're going to have this galactic center. You're going to have the sun conjunct the galactic center. And that's what I was talking about, in case any of you guys know your chart and know what's going on. So that's what I was just telling Karen. So we're going to look really quick at the earth energies, and we're in transcending. So we're right here. We just started a new one, a new cycle on the 23rd, right when the new moon happened. So now we're looking, so transcending. I love this picture for transcending, because it's just like, yeah, I'm transcending, but I'm still sitting here in the water. So I'm still having a physical experience, and I'm having experience on many different levels and many different layers all at the same time. So this was a really good picture showing that we're multidimensional. So being able to bring all of our higher understandings into the physical is really, really magical and amazing. But in transcending earth energy, we step out of inappropriate hesitation, like, oh my gosh, should I really compliment this person and tell them how amazing they are? You know, because that would give them more power than me. Maybe I don't want to do that. And you go ahead and you do it anyway. Going around empowering other people is a good thing. It took me a long time to even open my mouth and do that, but that would be an example of inappropriate hesitation. Saying yes when you want to say yes, and then the person leaves and you're like, oh, I never said yes. You know, you want to be able to, that would be inappropriate hesitation. Stepping into transcending the differences and letting go of what no longer serves. So like we have political polarization in the United States, and there's places all around the world where there's political polarization. And so it's just like, okay, well, I could still vote the way I vote, right? But do I have to call these people evil that don't agree with the way I see how the world needs to unfold? So I can, like, from a higher perspective, let go of seeing people that are otherwise amazing, wonderful, loving people that vote differently than me. So I can let go of those differences that don't really serve me, and yet I can still be true to myself. So universal energies, there's 13 of them as opposed to the 20 that were the earth energies. And today's universal energy is 3, creating. One of my favorite, because I grew up in a creative household. My mom was in theater, and my brother and sister and I drug out all the pillows and blankets and created tents and spaceships and all kinds of things until we got in trouble, but for making too much noise and having too much joy. And so thank God. I used to think that joy and pleasure was a horrible thing because I used to get in trouble, but I'm over that now. Isn't it amazing? I can feel joy and pleasure. Oh man, it's amazing. Okay, so we can create great things and dance around the house. My husband and I actually sing and dance to each other every once in a while. If the spirit moves one of us, the other one has to get involved in it too. So it's fun to have somebody to sing and dance with around the house. But here's our evolutionary guidance energy. This cycle started on the 23rd. We're only on the 25th. It's planting energy. So we're now planting things, which is good because we just switched to Sagittarius, and I have a picture here that looks more like Earth, but still we're planting seeds in the fire. How bizarre. Okay, so it's a period of offering opportunities to plant positive new ideas. Okay, well, that's inspiring. That's fire. And actions, that's fire. Aries is a fire sign, and that's the fire starter. Starting actions. And then by the time you get to Leo, you really feel the essence of you and who you are. And by the time you get to Sagittarius, which is also a fire sign, you're really able to go on an adventure, an insightful adventure, and share your insights with other people. So that's exciting. So we're kind of planting seeds that will change first us, like you know, in Leo, and then boom, then in Sagittarius, where you're working with groups of people like this one. So, and any other groups that you guys belong to or are holding space for. So this is the book that this Palladian energy is coming from. Pia Orleans and her husband, Colin Bard Smith. We're working with Palladians to come up with this system. The new calendar is on sale. It's at the metaphysical bookstores. There's still a couple of them left in San Diego. But for people watching the replay, there is a, you can get it online at Book Depository. It's not on Amazon. So this is what our new moon looked like. Now, why am I showing you a chart that's 2 days old? Well, the reason I'm showing you the 2-day-old chart is because this energy that happens at the exact moment of the moon and the sun together at 1 degree Sagittarius, 1 degree 37 minutes of Sagittarius, this stays for the whole lunation cycle up until the next new moon. So we are working with the seeds we plant in this new moon for this entire 27, 28-day period. So that's why it's still good after 2 days. And that's why we're still in this initiatory energy. So, and you notice that there's like a stellium, and stellium is just a fancy words for 3 or more planets in a sign. So there's a stellium of Sagittarius. We've got almost a pretty close conjunction between Venus and Mercury. So I think Mercury is faster than Venus. So sometimes they slow, sometimes they speed up, but they're both going direct right now. And they love, there's a lot of times during the year that Mercury and Venus are conjunct, and Mercury is our planet of thinking and communication, and Venus is our planet of heart, what we value and what our heart is telling us to do. And what my heart tells me to do is not the same as what everybody else's heart wants to do, but I know that my heart wants me to make soul-based intentions. I've been shown many times what happens when I set ego-based intentions and they never work out. So my heart-based intentions, they work out. So that's me. I don't know how you can test it out and see if it works for you. So that was some of the exciting things that are coming. This month we've got a full moon on December 7th or 8th, depending on where you live. This is where it is going to be exact in Pacific time. And if you watch your email, because around this time I'm going to send you out this free handout and video that I created. It's kind of a generic full moon thing, but this is a full moon in Gemini, so it's really thoughtful, and you just keep getting downloads of different ideas. Gemini loves ideas and has a plethora of ideas coming at you. And here we go. So when the sun, I was showing you guys that the sun and the moon are in the exact same degree on a new moon. So this is from the tarot deck. I know, Carrie, you have this deck by Radley Valentine, and it's the sun, number 19 in the tarot. These are both major arcana cards. They're like trump card, they were trump everything else. And this is the sun, Archangel Uriel, who we sing in for the earth. But the sun, if you're looking at chakras, if you're going to say, okay, well, where are the chakras? And if you're looking at the planets, okay, the sun, the planet, the sun has to do with the solar plexus chakra. And guess what? Archangel Uriel also has to do with the solar plexus chakra. So when we start the ceremony at some point, we can have one hand on the solar plexus. I'm putting both my hands on there now as I'm talking about this, because this is like, think about the sun, think about the color of the sun, think about the warmth of the sun and the power of the sun to give all of us the light on this planet. So solar plexus, sun, Archangel Uriel. So that's one of the things that's happening. The other thing that's happening is Archangel Haniel. Now the moon is, if you're looking at embodied astrology, is the third eye. And we know that Archangel Raphael is also the third eye. And we know that Archangel Haniel is also the heart chakra, or the high heart. But here we're looking at the moon, and we're looking at the moon in Sagittarius, okay? So we can look and we can think about the moon on our third eye, and what does that feel like? So if we've worked with third eye energy and we've worked with embodying that energy before, we can see, okay, what is that like? You know, so I might have my hands here and at my solar plexus. So I'm doing that right now. And I'm seeing that, you know, I'm reading the little bottom of these cards, knowing that my psychic abilities can open up, especially if I know that, you know, I've been told that you go in half an inch and you insight into your skull right between the brows and get to the pineal gland. I've also been told if you go back a little further and you're kind of going down the center of your head and through at the brow chakra, you can hit the cave of Brahma. So both of these points are really interesting to kind of find your way into energetically, because what happens when you hit the sweet spot is your mind that wants to obsess over crap, or wants to spin things, or wants to be linear or analytical when it's not time to be. You can send it on vacation and you can just get really still. You can go, thank you, mind. You served me well. I appreciate you and love you. But right now I want to get into some silence and to see what's next, which is kind of what we're doing in the new moon ceremony. We're getting to that. We're letting the mind get still. We're finding that place within the third eye. We're getting still in the mind, letting the mind go by. Have a nice little refresher while the heart kind of takes over and helps us see what's next for us. So that's that. Any questions on that before I move on and tell you the next bit? Carrie, you're unmuted. Would you like to say anything, or was that accidental?
It looks like it was accidental. Yes. Okay.
Okay, no problem. I always love what you have to say. So I thought, oh, Carrie's unmuted. I wonder if she wants to talk. So here we go. Let me see. I think I probably need to pull this up a little bit. Okay, so Sagittarius. Yep, Sagittarius has an archangel. Sure enough, that archangel is Archangel Zadkiel, and Archangel Zadkiel in the deck of Radley Valentine's, the angel, it's just called Angel Tarot. And balance, okay? Balance used to be called temperance in the old style decks. So it's just the kind of the idea of temperance and the idea of balance. And you can still see the two hands with the cups going back and forth. So you have one kind of chalicey cup and you have one kind of cup with a handle, and you're just pouring back and forth between the two. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm holding this sacred water. I'm finding within me the chalice within. I'm finding the bubbling over spring of love within my heart that can expand throughout my inner chakras. So that's all happening. So that's Sagittarius, Archangel Zadkiel. Archangel Zadkiel helps us come back into balance, helps us wait for perfect timing before we launch something. And also, if you kind of see the way that this is pouring from two cups, we have energy like a Taurus coming in from above. Okay, we have like an energy Taurus coming in from above. So we've got Father Sky energy coming in, and then we also have a Tauric energy coming up from the earth, which is Archangel Sandalphon, and the Mother Earth energy coming up through the Taurus, and that toric field just coming up and coming out. I didn't put a picture of the toric field, but I know you two understand what it is. So it's when you get, so we've got these two energies and they're both going through the center of the Taurus, and you kind of get to the center point of these two coming through. And those center points are what we're looking for when we're really trying to get into what our soul guidance is, as opposed to our ego guidance is. You know, it's not bad to be an ego. Ego's not a bad thing. It serves us. I love it, but you know, I don't want to make plans based on it. So Carrie, go.
I do have a question about this is the Archangel of Transformation, but
Mhm.
on here it says balance, which I think of a non-transformative, of a static thing. So how does this play into transformation?
Okay, so if you think of balance as a scale that's kind of going like this, and it's kind of like, oh, I'm in my head, oh, I'm in my heart, oh, I'm in my, and it just kind of takes a while for you to be like, to find that center still point. I don't know, maybe you can stay in the center still point longer than I can. I'm move off of it pretty quick. So so that's balance. It's balancing to get to the still point, but then you know a lot of people just want to stay there, and you know, okay, that's great. But there's also a sense of transformation. It's one of transformation because there's this whole purple that's happening in this card, um and there's like the violet flame. And so when you actually are aligned with the divine, you've got you know, all of your chakras lined up, and you've got all of the, you know, all of your spirit guides helping you, and you're like you're totally aligned, then you can transform the things within you that need to be let go of. The old childhood patterns. I've been letting go of a lot of old childhood patterns ever since my mom crossed. Not that she was a bad person or anything bad happened. It's just that you know, there's ways of being that you learn that don't serve you anymore, and it you know, it's just time to let them go. So there's just more like for instance, I used to wear the cloak of invisibility so I could hear my mom gossip. And that doesn't serve me right now. What am I doing? I'm going to be invisible? No, I'm doing a new moon ceremony. I can't be invisible. So it's like, doesn't serve me. So I had to let that go. Although if I needed to be invisible for some reason, if I wanted to kind of be really quiet and have nobody notice me so I could overhear something that I needed to know that I really wasn't invited to, I might wear the cloak of invisibility just to, like, you know, sneak around. Okay. I don't know if that ever works for me. I'll let you know. So far,
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that really makes sense that this card is about preparing for transformation, and
right.
part of it is being still, finding that center and getting the still point. So thank you for clarifying that.
Beautiful. Yeah, Carrie is brilliant. I at least like admire her mind so much. So and then here is Jupiter. Now, why am I bringing up Jupiter? These, you know, we're in Sagittarius, right? Well, 5 minutes after this, the sun and the moon became exact and met and said, "Oh," and hugged each other. Jupiter, Jupiter went direct. Now, what does that mean? You've heard of Mercury retrograde, right? And that's from the Earth's perspective. Mercury's going backwards for a while, and he's going backwards, and he might even go into another sign, and then he might come back, you know, and then he's going to go back into another sign. So we're looking at retrogrades, and then when retrogrades over, the planet stations, and so Jupiter has been stationing for a while, and then 5 minutes after the new moon hit, Jupiter started going direct. Woohoo! Because when planets are in retrograde, we're in a period of reflection. Now, I happen to like periods of reflection, but a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, when am I going to be able to move back into action? I'm waiting patiently for all this stuff to happen, but people aren't moving forward because we're in retrograde." So a lot of this good fortune, Jupiter is a benefic planet that expands anything, and a lot of people, you know, will wait till fortune's on their side before launching something, you know. And so, like, if you've been waiting for something to happen, or if you've been wanting something to happen, if you've been, like, for instance, if Carrie wanted to launch a crystal channeling teaching, or if Bonnie wanted to launch a Find Your Joy in Writing Your Memoir for Your Grandkids program, this would be a really good time to do it. And yeah, Bonnie's threw me a kiss. If you guys didn't notice that, she threw me a kiss because she is launching something like that. So, you know, find out from, you know, Bonnie, find out from the channel. Bonnie's in the Soul Photo Journey Sisterhood. So connect with her if that like sounded like, so that's happening. So yeah, so this is kind of, that's why I put Jupiter in, and we got Archangel Michael. Jupiter, if you want to know the chakra for Jupiter, Jupiter is the crown chakra. If you're going to embody the planet Jupiter is the crown chakra. We know that Archangel Michael is the throat chakra. If anybody that took my 5-week Archangel class where we were embodying the archangels knows that Archangel Michael is the throat chakra. And this Archangel Michael's this beautiful royal blue color as opposed to the beautiful purple from Archangel Zadkiel. So that's that. And then we're going to be going into the eye of the heart, which is like the Vesica Pisces. It's like the eye of the needle. It's like the center point that we were talking about, where we align everything and go into the still center. And so that's where we're looking to go. We're going to move around a lot because sometimes movement will help us get to the center point. So we're going to do a little bit of movement, and then we're going to sit down with our journal. And this is for those, you know, I guess there's nobody new, but if we have all of this stuff, so for some reasons just want to stay here. Okay. So there's movements that we can do. Some of them are like making figure eights with our fingers, making figure eights with our hands, making figure eights with our hips, with our feet, all kinds of figure eight patterns. We can think about the different chakras. We can have our hands on different chakras and think about this different energy that is happening. Then we can do all of that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this, but I'm going to keep it open for me. Where is it? So that I can make sure that we know where we're going. And then I'm going to put on the music for, and this is like the amazing, this is Gemini Brett's an astrologer, and one of his best friends is a musician. So I'm going to talk quietly over this and then crank it up, and then we're going to talk. So now we can move to this. And of course, now we know the reason why I have a rattle. And sometimes the rattle I use to kind of get all the way around my brain. It kind of opens up my mind. Just kind of get rid of that clutter. So that's my decluttering sound. And then I get my scarf out because it helps me move. If you don't have one, it doesn't matter. You can move your hands and your fingers. I like feeling motion. Okay, so we're going to go into the Eye of the Heart meditation. And then I'm going to turn the music back on during the journaling portion. If you don't want to listen to it during the journaling portion, you can mute your own thing. But here we go. We're feeling our feet on the ground. And then we're feeling 2 feet below our feet in the Earth Star chakra. And we're bringing energy up from the earth, just like a tree does with its roots, bringing energy up from the earth, bringing in those earth nutrients up our legs, up to our hips, up all of our lower chakras, the root chakra and the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra. You might want to put one hand on the solar plexus chakra to feel that sun energy. Then you can feel this earth energy moving into the heart chakra. The heart chakra is very transformational, and you can just, like, a lot of times we bring energy up into the heart and leave some of it there. We can move into the high heart. We can move into the throat chakra. Archangel Michael likes to help us speak out in courage. We can move up to, with the other hand, to the moon, bringing this earth energy up to the moon. Moon energy and earth energy can mix. It's kind of interesting because they're not natural companions. And then we've got, unless of course you have the moon in an earth sign. And then you've got the crown chakra. Remember, we've got Jupiter embodying this planet of expansion, and everything that it touches expands. Okay, so sometimes you want Jupiter and sometimes you don't, depending if you want something to expand. So we're expanding our crown chakra right now so that we can open to Father Sky and bring in that amazing energy from above. Bring it through the crown, bring it through the third eye with the moon, bring it through the throat chakra, bring it through the heart, bring it through to the solar plexus, where this energy is mixing, the sun energy, this moon energy. And then exhaling anything that doesn't serve you out the bottom of your feet. And then there's the bottom of our feet can open up. There's 2 like bubbling springs at the bottom of our feet, and anything that we're needing to let go of, we can just exhale. There's old patterns we can let go of out the bottom of our feet. Okay. So now we feel this sense of clarity. We can start our 3 intentional breaths. So I've moved my hands to my heart chakra now. And I'm going to inhale the first breath where I'm going inside the heart from the front, from my feet, sense of feeling. And I'm going into the center of my heart chakra. And I feel this center point that we were talking about, this point of balance. And now I feel the vortex of my heart chakra on the back side, which is the will, the back of us, the back, our spinal column in the back is more a sense of will. And that relates to the solar plexus and the sun. So we're bringing that through, and we're coming through the back and hitting the center. So we've got 2 center points playing with each other in the center of our hearts, creating the eye of the needle, creating the center of the Vesica Pisces. And we can stand in the energy of the Vesica Pisces on the 3rd breath. So we have these 2 points. We can contract our energy into the 2 center points of our heart. And then we can expand, ask Jupiter to help us expand our energy into this beautiful golden halo surrounding us in this almond shape, like Our Lady of Guadalupe, or all of those holy pictures of people standing in golden light. So we can expand our sense of the energy expanding in golden light and feeding, moving into a contraction at the center. And then we can expand out the golden light and expand into the center. And you can do that as many times as you want until you really feel that you've gone into the center, you've gone into the eye of the heart, because this is where the soul guidance is happening. Any question that you have at this point, you can ask, because we're at the center point of the eye of the heart. I like to ask, what is being conceived? That is a question. That is a new moon question. What is being conceived? This is new energy. It's going to last 26, 27, 26 more days. So we're just like, what is being conceived? We've had a couple of days of this energy. We might have more of an idea now what seeds are being conceived within. Now we're going to be quiet. I'm going to put the music back on and we're going to be quiet for a moment. Actually, I'm going to wait for the music until the journaling, and we're just going to keep asking over and over, what is being conceived? What's the seed that's being planted during this planting evolutionary guidance cycle? Okay, when you are ready to move to your journal, you can, or you can stay in this energy. If you are watching the replay, you can pause it right here. I'm going to turn the music back on. Okay, so if we want to figure out what that we wrote down, look over what we wrote down as what is being conceived. And if there is a baby step, like for instance, I'm realizing it's time for me to work on my play. So what's my baby step is to actually spend time every morning doing that, as opposed to finishing the whole first act or something. That would be too big of a chunk. So I would reduce it down to writing for 15 minutes about the merry place. So think about your next baby step in your intention that you saw, the seed that is being planted right now. And think about that. And as when you've got that down, you can lift up your water, because we're going to think about our intention as we drink our sacred water. Mhm. So Bonnie is saying cheers. And Carrie is saying cheers. So thinking about your intention as you're drinking this water, feeling and being aware of the water moving through you as you drink it with your intention. And now think about which spirit guide that you have, or which archangel are you going to call in for help, to help you from a divine level, from more of a higher perspective. Who are you going to call in? Maybe you're going to call in your higher self. Maybe you're going to call, what are you going to do? Who's going to come in and help you And we're going to feel a sense of communion with this divine help. Okay, so now if you want to write down anything about your intention, write down anything about who you're bringing in for help, for divine help. A lot of times when we actually do make soul-based intentions, we actually do need help. And we have to ask. They don't just come and help us because we're, I'm writing a play about the Marys. If they don't come and help, it's not going to be very good. Okay, so I noticed for me that when I gave that negative example, I felt the Marys move away from me. So then I said, I better follow my own directions. And then I asked them to come in and help me with this, right? So then I felt them come back in. I'm not planning on writing right now. I'm planning on going and talking to my husband. But as for me, asking for help every time I sit down to write this from, the Marys.
Well, Bonnie, it looks like Renee had to drop out because of her connection. I'll imagine that she'll be back in a minute.
I'm thinking that too.
And so now you're the show host.
Oh, really?
That's what I got a notice there in the chat that you are now the show host.
Well, do you want to just keep thinking writing until she comes back? Or you want to chat about what you experienced and what we've just been through?
Yeah, it was interesting that I didn't get like the baby steps to get there until she mentioned ask, and all of a sudden it just kicked in. And it was ask, action, and acceptance. And I'm like, oh, there's my baby steps towards what I got was a very general thing of changing my perspective around abundance and transformation. And I thought, well, that's really awesome. That's super cool, but it's super general. And where is there, where is there step leading to it? So I was really glad that she mentioned figure out who your guide is, who you're going to ask, and then ask them. So that was good.
Both parts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, I read a book by Tim Kelly called something, but it was Your True Purpose. And there was 12 activities that you could do. And I did all the stuff and worked my way through all the exercises. And then there was the day when, okay, so what's my true life purpose? And one word showed up, illumination. And I thought, oh, isn't that cool? And then about 3 or 4 minutes later, I thought, could you add some bullet points? What? So anyway, that's kind of like, yeah, it's sort of nothing came, but then when you say, oh, ask. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then those, what 3 wonderful words, ask, action, acceptance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
And back, and thank goodness you guys kept going and you shared and you know the drill and you know what to do.
Mhm.
And I'm really grateful that you guys kept it going. So I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to find out what you guys did because I want to know. So
Right.
is there anything else that you guys didn't end up saying that you want to say now?
Well, I told a story that happened a while ago, but what happened for me in the meditation, I've been leading up to offering a program in January with a friend and colleague and someone I really like working with.
Beautiful.
But I've had a different program in mind, actually for about 2 years, that I have not offered, but I got the outline, I've got the lessons, anyway, but I haven't. And the question that came to me to ask was, should I even be offering 2 programs at the same time? And the answer was yes, but start one in January and get it going. And then start the second one in February. Oh, and that sort of seems like, oh, that feels totally doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that also had, well, implications for parts of my life, like the kind of impact I would like to have on the world and financial things. So it all seemed, ooh, yes.
The abundance that's flowing in.
Yeah. So that was lovely.
Beautiful. Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. And Carrie, is it something that you wanted to share that you haven't shared yet?
I didn't mention one thing that they showed me very distinctly was a large seed. And he says, well, we're going to plant the seed and that you have planted seeds, but it just showed it as one big seed and almost like we are all one. What your intentions are really are just one of a part of what is being planted. And it's showing me that changes in perspective on the big things. It's like I can accept that there's one big seed of all the things that are being planted going forward. And if I just change my perspective, I see the seed differently. Well, does that change the fact that that I can wish for big things, which you know, in the past it's like, oh, I can only wish for little things. But it's now showing me that no, you actually can wish for big things, and you can just change your perspective on what is the big seed, and then what is it that you want to accomplish. So that was wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yeah, I gotta. Be sure and keep me informed about what you're, what you're moving forward with as you are. Well, that's awesome that you're willing to be the big seed, willing to be all that you are.
Yeah.
A lot of people will shrink from that. And I'm like, so happy to see Carrie saying, yeah, I can go for the big seed.
Yes, thank you so much. This is wonderful.
Yeah. And you mentioned 3 words, Carrie, and Renee wasn't here to hear. And I think the recording would benefit from hearing the 3 words again. And so,
okay. Yes, when you mentioned find your guide and then ask them, all of a sudden these words came through, and it was ask, action, and acceptance. And that those would be my baby steps towards realizing this change in perspective that's necessary for this big seed, is ask, action, and acceptance. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's the triple A's. Okay. We got it. Beautiful. Yeah. That works. I think that works for most of the intention I can think of. So that's
Mhm.
awesome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's so yeah, I basically didn't know why I was wearing red today, and they told me, well, yeah, you're supposed to wear red when you write the play. So it's
Oh,
because this is like the Mary Magdalene energy. Mary Magdalene wore the red cloak, and I'm grounding. I'm being the grounding. I'm being the grounding boots for what's coming through. And I actually have enough courage to actually say, yeah, I can write about what was going on for these amazing, amazing women during Holy Week. So,
Mhm.
and
wow.
I'm writing it during Sagittarius, which is a time of holy lights, and the time of, there's two galactic events in Sagittarius during this time period. So it's a very, it's a fire sign. It's the final fire sign, and it's also this this huge holy season. It's a holy season because we're in Sagittarius. So, you know, instead of running around Christmas shopping like I used to do and being a like distraction and busyness, I'm actually going to focus in and use this time of light to work on this. So,
Mm. And I noticed you were wearing red, and I don't think I've ever seen you in red before. And I wondered if it was significant. So thanks for telling us.
thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. I love it when like it's advanced people, you know, people, dear colleagues who are amazing show up for this, and it's like I don't have to. I didn't think we're speaking in shorthand, but I'm hoping at least if somebody just kind of pops on, they can understand and feel, you know, what we're able to experience and help each other know. So here I'm sharing this again because I want to, we're over time because of the little computer glitch. I had to re-sign in and all of that fun stuff. But so I apologize for that, but I'm so grateful that you guys kept everything going. And as I'm going down here, we're looking at the next time we're going to do this is going to be Friday, December 23rd. So I'm really hoping that last year on December 23rd, my mom crossed to the free side. So I was thinking today, do I really want to do a new moon ceremony on the anniversary of my mom's crossing? And the answer I got was yes, I do. I want to be around my friends that understand this level of understanding, basically, or this perspective anyway. It's not that it's better or worse than somebody else's, it's just it's what we like to talk about. And so I'm looking, this is the actual day of the new moon, but it happens so early in the morning that we've got a couple hours to kind of integrate it a little before we meet. And we're meeting on the 24th or the 25th. It's just too busy family things.
Yeah.
So I thought I would just, because the energy, new moon energy is gone by the 26th. So that's why we're meeting on the 23rd. It's a Friday. It's at noon. Hopefully if Carrie's working, they'll let her off early, right? But so and also I'm letting anybody that's watching this replay know that I do astrology sessions. We can talk about your sun, moon, and rising signs. These are your essential big three. Astrology is the blueprint of your soul, and we can look at different ways to embody the planets and embody the stars and embody and work with, through our chakra system, through our energetic system, work with the planetary energies as they come through. And amazing things happen when the divine energies are, you're working with the timing instead of working against it. So I'm letting everybody know that between now and the end of the year, you can still book an astrology session for $111 for 60 minutes. The price is going to go up to $222 January 1st. Now, 220, 224, that's the going rate for an astrology reading from a professional astrologer. So I had, this was my, okay, I'm a beginning astrologer. I'm still learning. I've only been doing this for 2 years. Well, now I've been doing this for 3 years. I've been putting 3 hours a day in for the last 3 years. I'm taking classes with mentors. I've taken several different classes with different professional astrologers, gotten a lot of readings, have figured out my own way of reading that's really soul based, as opposed to if you have a question on, okay, when should I launch my business? I'm not the right astrologer for that, but I know somebody. So if that's your question, I'll send you to them. But the soul based questions on how to navigate this, the territory, basically those are the questions that this astrologer can answer for you. So that I'm going to put this link right here in the show notes on YouTube and in the Facebook group Soul Porter Journey Sisterhood. Please, if you see this replay, please hit subscribe to this channel because it helps get the messages out that I'm trying to give to everybody. And so subscribing to the channel helps, and then liking this particular episode helps. I'm going to be putting more galactic type things on the channel. So if this channel, I'm starting to build this channel, so that would really help me. And so we know when we're meeting again. So this is our song. Woohoo! We're ready. We're here. I'm so grateful that people can come back in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. Okay, thank you, everybody. See